Star Wars has officially died, but I am still here.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and you know, as fun as it is to deliver good news on this channel, and I hope that you've clicked that thumbs up button, and I hope that you've clicked that red subscribe button down below. Sometimes you've got to deliver bad news. And to all those who have been unhappy with the quality of the recent Star Wars films and the direction that Kathleen Kennedy has taken things, there were moments of hope. There were moments in time where we thought, hey, maybe, just maybe, she's on the way out. There were all sorts of rumors of internal turmoil at Lucasfilm versus, you know, the Favreau-Filoni team and the good product that they make, The Mandalorian, versus Kathleen Kennedy and the garbage product she makes, like The High Republic and, you know, The Last Jedi and things like this. And there was some hope. There was some reason to believe that Filoni and Favreau would be taking on some additional resources, some additional responsibilities in the Star Wars cinematic universe. However, according to an updated article, sorry, Star Wars fans, Kathleen Kennedy has a long time to go and her departure is far, far away. Many Star Wars fans had hoped both the sequel trilogy and its architect would be erased from their beloved galaxy, but they are in for a disappointment. Disney believes the Force is strong with Kennedy and she isn't going anywhere. If Disney and Star Wars were on Facebook, their relationship status would certainly be set to "it's complicated." Oh, God, that's just a bad line. Ever since the studio bought the rights back in 2012, it's made a variety of questionable decisions regarding what is arguably the world's most popular science fiction franchise. Back in 2015, things started with the release of Episode 7, The Force Awakens, which is essentially a remake, and they appeared to get better with Rogue One. I liked Rogue One a lot. Disney's strategy at the time was to release a new Star Wars movie every year in an attempt to cash in on their $4 billion investment. The strategy seemed sound until the release of Episode 8, The Last Jedi, in December 2017. The Last Jedi proved to be an incredible misstep for Lucasfilm and their leader, Kathleen Kennedy. It's the most divisive Star Wars movie to date. Yeah, okay, I'd buy that. And though it was a financial success at the box office, it left such a bad taste in the mouth of Star Wars fandom that it turned more than half of lifelong Star Wars fans against the franchise. This via RT.com, by the way. Author is Matthew Kadish. Kennedy was on a high when The Last Jedi released, mostly because her tenure at Lucasfilm had been plagued by troublesome productions. The writer-director, Rian Johnson, brought the Star Wars film in on time, on budget, and without any behind-the-scenes drama that had plagued both Rogue One and Solo, a Star Wars story, which lost money, by the way. Can you imagine losing money on a Star Wars movie? Thus, Kennedy looked at Johnson as the future of the Star Wars franchise, at least until the fan backlash almost tanked Disney's golden goose. There is a lot of spin going on in 2018. There was a lot of spin going on in 2018 in an attempt to dismiss the criticism that the fan base had about The Last Jedi, mostly blaming men. But no amount of spin could make Disney dismiss the failure of Solo, a Star Wars story. Not only had the production been bungled so thoroughly by Kennedy, and the vast majority of the movie had to be refilmed, doubling its already large budget, but the discontentment of the fan base, a change in release date from December to overcrowded summer blockbuster season, and poor marketing achieved what no one at Disney thought was possible: a Star Wars movie failure at the box office. Solo, a Star Wars story, now holds the title of being the lowest grossing live-action Star Wars movie, taking in only $400 million worldwide. And that was one failure that Kathleen Kennedy and Disney could not spin doctor their way out of. The failure of Solo forced Disney CEO Bob Iger to reevaluate their strategy with Star Wars and attempt a course correction to get the lucrative franchise back on track. Though many fans were calling for a change in leadership at Lucasfilm, Disney believed the problem didn't lie with Kennedy, it does, and a questionable talent, it does, but with Star Wars fatigue. No, see, that's, we already know that's not true. We already know that Disney knows that's not true because they're literally dumping out more than a dozen new Star Wars franchise shows on Disney Plus. So was it Star Wars fatigue or not? Now, they thought they needed to scale back their offerings. Now, in hopes of getting things back on track, Iger convinced Episode 7, J.J. Abrams, who's terrible, by the way, when are people going to stop getting excited when they see J.J. Abrams on a movie? I mean, I don't think that he delivers any kind of high quality. I'd rather see new blood in there. J.J. Abrams returned for Episode 9. There was Skywalker with the target release date of 2019. Abrams was tasked with trying to fix the mess Kennedy and Johnson had made with The Last Jedi and healing the divide with the Star Wars fan base, an impossible task for one movie. But while Abrams was busy with the next Star Wars film, Iger and Kennedy were busy shifting a strategy to television service Disney+. Hey, look at that. One of my videos is on there. Now, let's go forward here with the reasons why Kennedy isn't going anyway. Firstly, Disney would not simply erase Episode 7 through 9 simply due to their licensing deals regarding those films. And whether fans want to admit it or not, all 3 sequel films made Disney a profit and continue to do so through licensing. Secondly, in the post-Coof age, where theme park attendance is struggling, it's not unusual to see a company like Disney change strategy with attractions like Galaxy's Edge, where old characters and elements are swapped out for new ones that are more popular. This is referencing, obviously, the large shift to The Mandalorian rumored at Galaxy's Edge. Third, Kennedy's entrenched in her position as the head of Lucasfilm. She's getting as much credit for the success of The Mandalorian within Disney as Favreau and Filoni are. Well, she did hire them. Keep in mind that Kennedy has been a staple of upper echelons of Hollywood since the 70s. She's married to super producer husband Frank Marshall and is best friends with Steven Spielberg, and handpicked by George Lucas as his successor. She's one of the most powerful women in Hollywood, with the full backing of Disney's board of directors. On top of this, in an era where Hollywood is desperately trying to appear more inclusive, the idea of firing Tinseltown's most influential female executive is utterly fanciful. Fourth, Disney has just announced its plans to produce 10 new Star Wars shows for Disney+. Apparently, all concern over Star Wars fatigue is now forgotten. That's what I was saying earlier, too. But regardless, all 10 of those shows are brainchilds of Kennedy, who are developing and overseeing all of them. Favreau and Filoni may be involved with 2 or 3, but Kennedy is involved in every single one, which equates to the future of Star Wars being hers and hers alone. Now, if you want to take a minute to throw up in your mouth, I would understand that. Hearing that is really disappointing, because certainly Kathleen Kennedy has had way more misses than hits. You could argue that she had the foresight to hire Filoni, and that's possible, that's true. But losing money on a Star Wars film is just the beginning of it. Solo, a Star Wars story, was a disaster. But on top of that, The Last Jedi was in fact, the entire sequel trilogy is a joke. Yeah, they're all fine popcorn films, and they do a little bit of, fan service that people like. There's a lot of fan service things that people didn't like destroying Luke Skywalker, turning him into a bitter old man who drinks blue milk. I hated that. There were many things in The Last Jedi that were just garbage. It was poorly written, poorly executed. But, it made money, so whatever. If the idea is just making money, then yeah, she's never going to go anywhere, because it's going to take decades to erase all of the goodwill that the Star Wars franchise has. And honestly, I'm not sure how good they're doing picking up new fans, because where people start is the original sequel trilogy, not this, the garbage that they forced out on us from Disney. I want to see more Rogue One and Mandalorian, and less just essentially this latest sequel trilogy was like a lazy rehash of the first, and dipping and dunking around, bringing in decrepit old characters who are 100 years old for fan service. I've never been a big fan of that. If you're going to have them in the movie, have them in the movie type thing. And I just, it's really depressing. We have, with the release of Star Wars The High Republic, a sub-series of Star Wars media franchise that stretches across books, comic books, video games, and new media, a cross-platform endeavor meant to reinvigorate the Star Wars expanded universe. And guess what? It was all developed and spearheaded by Kathleen Kennedy. As anyone can plainly see, all current and future offerings Star Wars related are coming from Kennedy, and so long as she's in charge, it's doubtful anything with her name attached to it will get, quote, erased from Star Wars canon. Disney has no plans to fire or replace her, and they are letting her run the show just how she always has. You're not wrong. This article does a good job debunking all of my hopes and dreams. Well, we'll always have The Mandalorian. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.